That's on me reel.
Well, as you can see, our quest to catch fish from the Baltic continues. We've already caught some nice perch down under those boats, and that was great fun fishing with those tiny little rods. And now we're a short hop away fishing with a swim feeder, which seems a really odd thing to do here, but what we're after is some bream. Now the way you use the feeder is very simple. I've got here a huge bucket and it's filled up with this brown crumb. This is basically ground up breadcrumbs, and what I'm going to do is just put a plug of crumb in the bottom. It's slightly damp, so it's fairly sticky, and then I'm going to put in a few grains of sweet corn, just sweet corn bought down at the local supermarket, and then on top another plug of crumb. So basically I've got a sweet corn sandwich in there, and then on the hook I've got that good old-fashioned bait, the real standby, a nice wriggly worm. What fish could resist that? Absolutely perfect. But of course, as I said before, the most important thing is to be able to cast accurately. I'm lining up on a tree on the shoreline on the far bank and using the clip on my reel to control the distance I'm casting. The idea being to drop this feeder into the same spot every time. So I'm casting it out towards the tree. The clip takes care of the distance. And this is very important now. I want you to watch the tip. It's bending round as the feeder falls down through the water. So the weight of the feeder is keeping it bent. It's still falling, and it's still falling, so it's quite deep out there. I reckon it's about 25 feet. And in a moment, there it goes. It's hit the bottom, the tip sprung back. So what I've got to do is to wind the reel handle forward, tighten up until I get a reasonable bend in the tip, and then I allow the feeder to rest for about a minute to a minute and a half. Having done that, the clever bit is, if you tweak the reel handle a couple of times, you'll drag the feeder backwards and the ground bait will be left behind, and you drag your bait straight into that little pile of ground bait and it'll leave that worm sitting in a pile of crumb.